There's a chill in the air and a cackle on the wind. It's time once again for a Cereal at Midnight spotlight on the music of Halloween. This is what I'm listening to this Halloween season. It's weird because I'm still listening to stuff from last Halloween season. It's even weirder because a lot of the stuff that I'm still listening to from last Halloween season has a sequel album in the video you're about to watch. Like, it's so popular, they're doing it again this year. So, in fact, let's kick it off with some record talk, because the best example of what I'm talking about here is last year we had Halloween Nuggets, which is this is from it's from Rockbeat, which is part of the Liberation Hall family. By the way, I interviewed Arnie Shore from Liberation Hall right here on the channel. Rich ties to Rhino. That's a good connective tissue for you guys. If you're Rhino Records, yeah. So this last year was it's 50s and 60s music. It's the kind of stuff that it's fun Halloween music. Last year's installment was pressed on neon orange vinyl. Gorgeous. It's probably still available. If the vinyl version is not available, then there is a CD version as well that is not limited in any way, shape, or form as far as I know. But this year we have more Halloween Nuggets. This is brand new, hot off the presses, Haunted Underground classics. Most of the selections are vintage sides from the 1960s, rounded out by a witch's fistful of rare 50s cuts. So I'll show you the track listing here. We don't really do mainstream here at Cereal at Midnight. Every now and then we come around. I got two mainstream picks for you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. They're mostly here just to kind of anchor us in a certain place. So, like, we're going to talk about some Charlie Brown music. We don't really do mainstream here. So these are, you might not be super familiar with these, but you should be, because they're awesome tracks. And this year's edition is on they call it ghostly purple vinyl. So it's purple. It is slightly translucent. You see you see the specter of my hand coming through. It's gorgeous. I mean, this is an absolutely beautiful record. My pressing is warp free, which is wonderful, because I feel like for a while everything, maybe it's the southern heat and humidity, which is honestly very possible, but everything I was getting was warped. Anyway, this is great fun. You know what, I'll put links in the description of this video for some of this stuff so that you can easily find it, because again, it ain't mainstream. We don't do mainstream. I am listening to this, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is because, I just interviewed the Mendelsohn, Sean and Jason Mendelsohn, who are the sons of Lee Mendelsohn. They just put out the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving soundtrack, which it's from newly discovered master tapes of the Vince Guaraldi sessions. And one of the things that we talked about in that interview is like how they found those new tapes, how this is the first time we're hearing the music like mixed properly and restored for like ever, first time in 50 years. Last year they put out the Great Pumpkin soundtrack, and we haven't talked about this on the channel yet, so I wanted to shout out, it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Previous versions of the soundtrack had sound effects over it, and did it have dialogue? I can't remember if it had dialogue, but it was like whoop, like it was sound effects that were like mixed in. This is straight from the master tapes, and it sounds oh so good, and there's alternate takes here. This music has never sounded so good, so I wanted to shout this out. Also, to kick us off like kind of mainstream, right? I've pulled this out of my collection. This is John Carpenter Anthology Movie Themes 1974 to 1998. I'm listening to, we got Halloween with the Halloween theme, The Thing, Starman, Dark Star, Christine, In the Mouth of Madness, The Fog, Prince of Darkness, Escape from New York, all the classic John Carpenter themes. There is a volume 2 for this. It's not as iconic as volume 1. Volume 1 is really like the heavy hitters. When you go places and you hear like John Carpenter is responsible for so much of what we consider Halloween classics, right? This is a carryover from last year. I am still listening to the Halloween Nuggets box set. This is also from Rockbeat, Liberation Hall, Arnie Shore. We already talked about that. It's a 3 CD set, 99 tracks. It is an absolutely essential collectible for horror movie fans, for Halloween fans, for people like me who really just dig classic music. This is a great for people that want to have, again, you're just getting, like, I know a lot of people are like, Halloween season rolls around, they're like, Rob Zombie, and they're throwing on the Misfits and stuff like that. Like, that's really cool. I'm just following my muse, right? I'm following what cranks my tractor. And so here's some new stuff here. Horror Show, a Coco Mojo Halloween. So Coco Mojo is a sub-label of Broken Silence. I guess it's Broken Silence Records. They are putting out a ton of like deeply curated collections that are centered around. They do a lot of stuff with black artists. They have a new series called Black Pearls, where it's trying to restore the creative legacy to the black musicians that made a lot of these songs famous. And they did 20 volumes of Boss Black rockers, which are, again, early black rock and roll songs. So that's the label behind this, and it's 28. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but it's 28 tracks. There's a poem here. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but here's to the witches, here's to their cats, here's to the hoot owls and the whirring bats, here's to the ghosties in robes of white, here's to the thrills of Halloween nights. And then I'll skip to the last paragraph. Here's a greeting to the ghosts sad, a greeting to the goblin hosts bad, and let them merry be. May witches, fays, and grinning cats, owls and sprites and sable bats have a good cheer on Halloween and add any enchantment to the scene with revels wild and free. That is from Halloween Merrymakers, 1930. So almost 100 years old, still cool. So that's the kind of thing that I'm into, especially this year and right now. The art inside of this release is pretty fantastic. I think there's another, yeah. Let's get this CD out of the way. That's where I'm at. On a similar note, last year, I think we talked about Hallow Scream Volume 1 and Hallow Scream Volume 2, compilations from Atomic Cat Records, which is a sub-label of Broken Silence, same company. I think a lot of these labels are out of the UK and Europe. Where is this one from? Check them out at vintagerockandroots.com. Not rocking, but rockin' roots. This year, brand new, Hallow Scream 3, and it's subtitled Planetary Run, because all of these songs are themed around like aliens and space and stuff like that. Again, we're talking about classic songs. There's nothing from like 1998 here. Eddie Kletro and his Roundup Boys, Flying Saucer Boogie from 1952. Billy Hogan and the Twilighters, Shake It Over Sputnik from 1958. Let me skip ahead. Joe Tate and the High Fives, Satellite Rock from 1958. Gary U.S. Bonds, Trip to the Moon, 1961. This is my jam right here. Hopefully that is clear enough for you guys to see. And I'll take you on a tour. We got track by track liner notes here. Let's go deeper. Last year we talked about, this is kind of a bummer. I'm going to show. So last year we talked about Swinging at the Seance, Jazz for a Halloween Night, ghostly selections from 1919 to 1953. So if you have a haunted house set up or something, and you want to, like, you could have a room with this playing, because it's all pre-1953. It's all pre-rock. And it's really great. But what's kind of a bummer is that this year, we are to get Swinging at the Seance Volume 2, but it's delayed until November 10th. At least that's what Amazon is telling me. And so it will not be here in time for Halloween. Also, Blues Hoodoo Halloween, classic blues, 1925 to 1961. Screamin' Jay Hawkins doing I Put a Spell on You. Sonny Boy Williamson doing I've Been Dealing with the Devil. Classic blues with a horror supernatural theme. Volume 2 delayed until November 10th. I don't know what happened. Let's talk about this one. This is not necessarily Halloween themed, but I think it's close enough that we should talk about it. Hellraisers, Rhythm and Blues Hellraisers. This is from Coco Mojo, which is, we just talked about this. It is incredible, and they're dark. It's songs about like vice and alcohol, and like the first track here is Wynonie Harris, Quiet Whiskey. Wynonie Harris, Quiet Whiskey. As soon as this video is over, go look on YouTube, Wynonie Harris, Quiet Whiskey. It is the most fun. And does it have the year on here? It does not have the year, but we're talking about, like, again, jump blues era, like 40s, 50s, 60s. That's what we're talking about. Mostly 50s and 60s. Mostly 50s, honestly, pre-1962, because a lot of these collections rely on the UK copyright laws that limit anything 1962 and earlier becomes public domain. So they don't have to pay royalties on this stuff. They just throw it on a compilation. Here's some track. I was reading these track listings to my wife when this came. I was like, Wine, Wine, Wine by Herb Fisher. I Ain't Drunk by Jimmy Liggins. Beer Bottle Boogie, Marilyn Scott. Big Fat Joe the Wino, Alan Henry and his band. Where's the Money, Honey, Chubby Newsom. Vicious, Vicious Vodka. Amos Milburn and his Aladdin Chicken Shackers. That is a real, that's not a joke. Amos Milburn and his Aladdin Chicken Shackers. Whiskey, Women, and Loaded Dice. Joe Liggins and his Honey Drippers. Laundromat Blues, the Five Royales. I mean, this is the best. And they end it with another Wynonie Harris song. So if you are into, you're watching this video, of course you are. I'm also, from last year, I'm still listening to Autumn Leaves. This is a perennial. This is from Bear Family Records. Bear Family does these things. They do like seasons and they do destinations. So they have different times of they'll have a spring compilation, summer compilation, actually multiple volumes. Autumn Leaves is, it's just songs themed around September and October. And I guess November too, because they roll into Thanksgiving. And so it's like Bobby Darin and his orchestra, Tab Hunter, the Tempos, the Viscounts, who did Harlem Nocturne, right? That's a different song, just like sexy saxophone. You just feel like rain slick streets and there's a chill and you got to turn your collar up. That in music form. It's absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to end this here with a compilation that my friend JB sent me, aka J-Bones. Now you guys know J-Bones because he was in my video about the Universal Monsters on 4K. Every year he sends out these Halloween compilations that he hand curates, presses them on discs. This year's theme is Gloom, Despair, and Agony on Me. So he's got a recurring hee-haw sketch, Gloom, Despair, and Agony. And there are, so the thing, a lot of the stuff I knew, right? So we got Big Girls Don't Cry. The theme is like sadness, right? Like gloom, despair. Yeah, you got it, right? Tiny Vampire Robot, Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos. I'd never heard of Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos. Check them out. Tiny Vampire Robot. There's another one. Vampires in blue dresses. Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos. So he hipped me to that this year, and I'm super grateful for it. This is just a little bit of what I'm listening to. You know, I'm also, pretty much everything I'm listening to is like, it's a depth, like I'm digging into the archives of the past, you know, I'm exploring. It's what I like to do, you know. You see all around me, you know, I got my Munsters record here, and I got my Cooper and the Midnight. Like I'm keeping in touch with what's current, but I love my archaeological digs, my expeditions into the pop culture of the last 100 years. And I get to pass it on to you guys in videos like this. So I got lots more music like this that's not necessarily Halloween themed. You want to see some of it? You want to talk about things like this? You want to talk about more Bear Family compilations? More jump blues from the past that's been mostly forgotten about except for a handful of cool cats that are keeping it alive? Let me know. We'll continue that conversation in the comments below. What are you listening to this Halloween season? Let's talk about that in the comments below too. Remember to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You got to ring that bell. More and more people are telling me, I didn't realize you put a new video up. Subscribe, ring that bell, and that way you will never miss a Cereal at Midnight episode. This is topical, right? This is timely. This needs to be seen before Halloween for you to get the most out of it. Remember, subscribe and hit the ring the bell, but also engage. Share these videos. Spread the word wherever you can. You can support Cereal at Midnight on Patreon or become a YouTube member. There are exclusive benefits for each of those options. And really, just let's keep that conversation going. Have a great and happy Halloween. I appreciate you guys so very much. Take care. Until next time, I will catch you later.